When I walked in, I said, oh my God, I said, did this dog drag my baby because of what his face looked like? You know, if this was your child, how would you react? What would you be doing to try to make a change or try to get justice for your child? February the 28th was my birthday, um, which is the day before his death. We went to San Antonio for the weekend, and of course, we left them with Omira and Jawan and Amarie because that's where he stayed whenever we had something to do, which wasn't very often. So we didn't have to worry. We knew for sure he was in good hands. And I remember waking up that Saturday morning and I said, you know, it's a beautiful day outside, and I'm sure that, you know, Kamari and Jawan and Amarie were going to, you know, get out the house. And so my husband called me. I was downstairs at the hotel getting ready to go back up. So my husband calls and he says, we need to go. And I said, why? He says, Kamari got bit by a dog. So then I called, and Omira, she was handling Amarie. And I called Jawan and I said, what's wrong? He said, Kamari got bit by a dog. And I said, where at? He said, his neck. And I just started crying, you know, screaming. I was running down the hall so we could get back to the room to get our luggage and get out. And we got to the hospital. We ran in there and the lady said, can you have a seat? And we said, no, you know, our baby is in the back. So then they opened the door. We went back and they kind of locked us in the room, and we were anxious to know what was going on with him.
Yeah.
I heard screams and I said, oh, I said, that's my baby. So, you know, I know for sure he's okay. And they said, no, it's Anne-Marie. You know, she was yelling from her injuries. She was in pain. And so, you know, the police officers and the justice of the peace, they came in the room and he said, we're sorry, Mr. Robinson has passed away. So at that point, you know, we were very outraged and, you know, just couldn't understand why. And I just remember, you know, somebody picking me up off the floor. And my husband, I think the same thing happened with him. He was very outraged. And I said, I just want to see my baby. You know, if I see my baby, then I'll be okay. I think I will be okay. So about 30 to 45 minutes went by. They finally allowed us to see him. And when I walked in, I said, oh my God, I said, did this dog drag my baby because of what his face looked like? And they said, well, we're not sure. We have two investigators on the scene. So I went and I rubbed his face. Of course, you know, I was still crying. You know, we were still really upset, and I kissed him, and I had the opportunity to hold him, you know, for the last time, and my husband did as well. But that was a scene that I don't think that we could ever, you know, get past. We kind of hoped that they would maybe do more investigations to, even though they said they've done everything they could do, we were hoping that there was something else, because when we looked in the newspaper, we noticed that the fine was $164. We didn't know, you know, why it was so little, and that fine was for dog at large. And we just kind of tried to adjust living life without Kamari being here in the flesh, but we know that he's still here in spirit. So every day since his death, every day I have been going over to his grave, whether it's to tie balloons or to take a little toy or something, or just to go visit and say hello. And each time I go to his grave, I always say a prayer as well. We're kind of numb to the situation until it happens to us. Since Kamari's death, I have been kind of following the stories where there are dog attacks, and I noticed recently there was one here in Killeen, and I'm saying, my gosh, you know, people are probably afraid to take their kids outside and even go outside themselves to walk the neighborhood because they're afraid that they're going to get attacked by a dog, whether it's an animal such as a pit bull or bull mastiff. I mean, it could be a chihuahua, any kind of little dog. These are animals. I mean, we can never predict what they're going to do. I'm not here really to point any fingers or anything. What I really want to do is bring awareness to the community. By doing that, I know that Fort Hood, they do have a law where they are banning pit bulls, I think, or animals of that type. I kind of want to do the same thing for Killeen, but, you know, some people may feel that it's not, you know, it's not fair just to have those kind of dogs outlawed. So I want to kind of do something to where owners are more educated on these animals before they get them. And our mission is basically to educate, and hopefully before these people, they buy these animals, especially like that particular breed, they would reconsider, or once they read more information, they would be able to understand why these animals were what these animals were used for. The website, I do plan, well, we do have a Facebook page as well that is going to be created, and I not only want to make this available for the local community, but hopefully it will go worldwide as well, to where people would look at, hey, you know, this is an animal, I could possibly be a victim one day, or a family member, or just a bystander, you know. And I just want them to be aware of what these animals can do. And no, you can try to raise these animals properly, do everything in the book, but we just need to be aware of what they're capable of doing. Well, after going through this experience, I would recommend them to get into a support group. Try to avoid any negativity that comes their way, because indeed it will come. I have encountered that, and when I have, you know, I just fell into pieces. You know, counseling is good, but it's only God that can help us through this. I've just been dealing with it spiritually, because we do have to understand that on earth, God has a purpose for all of us. Even though, you know, Kamari's life was short-lived, he had a great life, and I just had to understand that God had him here for a reason, and maybe this could be the reason for him coming into this world, to show me, Angela, you know, you need to get out there and be an advocate. I know you can do this. But I just spiritual healing. And I do get that often, Angela, you know, you're so strong, I don't understand, you know, how do you do this? I said, it's not me, it's God. You know, he's helping me through this. Without him, I would be an emotional wreck. If I have another child, of course, that child would never take Kamari's place. But, you know, I raised Kamari. We raised Kamari pretty good. So our child, if we were to have another one, we would definitely raise that child the same way we raised Kamari. And I'm sure that this child will have a happy life, you know, as Kamari did. You know, Kamari had a smile that was just contagious. Mommy always smiled.